Alright guys, so now that we understand the concept behind cracking a WPA password, let's go ahead and perform this attack and see if it actually works. Now before this video started, what I did is I changed my Wi-Fi settings to use WPA encryption, and I also changed my Wi-Fi password to bacon123. So if we get bacon123, then we'll know that this actually works. So my card is already in monitor mode, and just so I can actually target my own network and not everyone else's around me, what I want to do is I just want to run aerodump ng and WLAN 1mon, that's the card. And I'm just going to get the MAC address, so let me stop that, of this network. So this is my network, Bucky's Wi-Fi, and again, I'm just doing this to target my own network so we don't actually try to crack anyone else's by accident. And I'm broadcasting on channel 1. So let me clear out of that and run this command again. Alright, so --BSSID. I can say I want to target that network, which is mine. And I can also specify the channel so it's not listening on any other channel. And whenever I start capturing these packets, I actually want to save them. So to do that, write --right. And what file do you want to save them to? Well, I just want to save it to desktop, and I have a folder called captures, and you can name it anything you want. I'm just going to name my WPA sample, whatever, it looks good. So now whenever I run this, what this is going to do is it's going to start listening on this network, and then whenever we stop listening, it's going to write all of those results to WPA sample. So there you go, I started listening for traffic. So what we need to do right now is we need to wait until a handshake takes place. Now the handshake, like we saw in the last video, that's the authentication process, basically a device proving to the access point that it does know the password. Now whenever this happens, we could look at that traffic, pull all of the useful data that we need out of it, and plug it into the formula where we can perform our dictionary attack. So we pretty much need for some legit person to log into the networks, like an employee, a teacher, whatever. Now, if you're at like a huge office building or like a university or something, people are going to be logging into this network all the time. However, if you're at a smaller establishment or maybe just like someone's home, it may take a while for someone to actually, log in to the network. So if you don't want to wait, what you can actually do is find someone that's already connected and just send them a deauthentication packet. So then you kick them off and they're going to log back in right there. So that's a cool little trick. But take note of this. I'm picking up my tablet and I'm not connected yet. And I'm about to type in password and log in and watch what happens in this top right area. As soon as we capture that authentication, which is called a handshake, is going to give us a little indicator. So it's really awesome. You don't have to guess. Did I get one yet? Did I get one? It's going to tell you. So I picked up my tablet and we'll just pretend like I'm a teacher, like someone legit that knows the password. Go to my settings, choose this network, and then let me type in bacon123. Now I'm about to hit connect, and again, keep your eye on that and check it out. So it says WPA handshake, and this means that we did capture one. So now I can just hold down Control-C to stop that. We got the information that we needed. Now, just so I can show you guys real quick, if I go to my captures right now, you see that this is the data we collected in all these different formats. I'm going to right click this and open in Wireshark and check it out. Rearrange and so you guys can see. All right. So this is all the packets that we caught, and if we try to read any of these, not going to be very successful. So it's pretty obvious that right now, even though we could look at some data, it is all, encrypted. This is useless to us. So what we're about to do next is we are going to loop through the passwords, and we're going to plug them each into a formula, and we're going to see what one works. So what you need is actually a list of passwords, and they are all over the internet. I'm going to show you the one that I got. I actually got this off of GitHub. So these are just the top 1,000 common ones. 1, 2, 3, password, 1, 2, 3, 4, yada, yada, yada. And let me show you guys something. So I put my password on line, where you at? All right. So on line 420, that's my password right here. So it's going to try all of these, and then whenever it gets to mine, bacon123, it's going to go dun da da. Well, it's not actually going to make that sound, but you know, it's going to be thinking about it. It's going to be like, hey, I found the right password. I found something that works. And this is incredibly easy. So for this, we're going to be using a tool called AirCrackNG. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about a little rant. The entire suite of tools, like the collection of tools that we're using for Wi-Fi, it's called AirCrack. And one of the tools in here is actually called AirCrackNG. So the name AirCrack isn't the name of the collection. It's also a name of a tool. So it gets kind of confusing, but you know, don't let it throw you. So AirCrackNG, that's what we're going to do to crack the password. And then it takes two pieces of information. The first one is the capture file, the one that we just opened in Wireshark. And mine is in desktop captures, and it was called WPA cap. Now, the next thing it needs is, all right, what are all the passwords that you want me to try? And that was that file I just showed you guys, and it was desktop list, and I believe it was called, no, top passwords and 1000. So again, in order to find the right password, all you need is a capture file that has the handshake in it and a list of possible passwords. Now I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to start looping through those. And how quick did that take? Like a second and a half maybe. And what it says is, okay, I found your key, bacon123. I mean, in a blink of an eye. And by the way, I just want to say that it doesn't usually take that quick. Sometimes people have like millions and millions of passwords. Sometimes it can take quite a long time. But I mean, this is a computer. It just ran through 400 potential options in, you know, like half a second. And I mean, if you ever looked at anyone's password on their Wi-Fi, they're usually not that complex like the majority of people. So that is how you perform that. Now, what I'm going to do now that we have the password is we now have all the pieces that we need. Not only can we log in to the network just using this password, but we can also start decrypting all of that information. So now let me move over to my captures file. And what we can do here is we can run a tool called AirDecapNG. And this is a tool that you use to actually decrypt those packets. So now that we have all the pieces, what we can do is we can start looking through these packets and decrypting them. Pretty awesome. So the formula takes a couple pieces, and we already have all of them. The first thing is, what's the name of the network? So it was Bucky's Wi-Fi. Simple enough. Now if you write -P, another piece that it needs is the password for that network. And we just figured that out. It was bacon123. And the last thing you need to give, of course, is a file that you want it to decrypt. So mine was WPA sample.cap. And check this out. So keep an eye on this, because what it's going to do is it's actually going to build a whole new file. But this is going to be with decrypted. So the file names are kind of similar. It's going to name the same thing as this, but put a -DEC at the end. So keep your eye on this whenever I run this command. Going to hit enter. And you see that it generated a new file. Well, let me just open that up in Wireshark. Look at that. All right, so now check it out. So this was our starting point, all of the encrypted, you know, packets over Wi-Fi. And what we did with that password is we pretty much use it to reverse engineer a key, and we now got some beautiful decrypted information that we can look through. So how beautiful is that? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the basic theory behind WPA key recovery or password recovery, and also how you can crack a password if you don't know it, and also use that password to decrypt WPA packets. So there you go. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.